Hey, what's going on, Z Nation? Zaid here, ZSPN, and welcome to the Lakers post-game show on ZSPN on YouTube. And today, guys, we're going to be talking about the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Houston Rockets tonight. Now, guys, before I get into the embarrassing loss, once again, of many when it comes to the Los Angeles Lakers games as of late this season, please be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, share my videos all over Facebook, Twitter, all the good social media stuff. And of course, like always, please be sure to like my page on Facebook, ZSPN, and also follow me on Instagram and Twitter at ZSPN. I really do appreciate the love, support, and all across social media when it comes to the support you gave me there. And of course, on this channel, ZSPN on YouTube. I really do appreciate it, guys. Without further ado, let's just get right into it. Okay, it was a very, as I said, embarrassing, disappointing. You know, when you look at all the names you can call on the Lakers on, it is rightfully so. Because, you know, when it comes down to it, the Lakers lost to one of the worst teams in the NBA. And I can honestly say the worst team in the Western Conference in the Houston Rockets. They got outplayed. I mean, it really showed from the first, the second, the third, and the fourth, especially in overtime. So when it comes down to it, the Lakers, they weren't in it. I honestly have to say, even though they were competitive, but at the same time, they couldn't capitalize. And that's the thing. When it comes to the Los Angeles Lakers, every time that they score, they always allow the other team to score on them after the fact. So when it comes down to it, the Lakers have a huge problem when it comes to finishing off a team completely. And unfortunately, they just couldn't capitalize on this win against the Houston Rockets tonight. And, you know, this is a bad Houston Rockets team. I mean, look at their record. I believe there are 17 wins and, like, I might be mistaken. I think they have 65 losses. I might be mistaken, guys. Please don't quote on me when it comes to their record, but I know they have 17 wins after this win. So when it comes down to that, it is they are the worst team, and they're not making the playoffs. They're not making a play-in tournament. So the Houston Rockets are one of the worst teams in the NBA in general. So when it comes down to that, but the Los Angeles Lakers decided to say, hey, Houston Rockets, why don't you win this game? Okay, we don't feel like playing tonight, and that's basically what it was. Honestly, okay, when you look at the stat line, obviously when you look at the stat line, you can see that, you know, obviously Russell Westbrook put up 30 points. He had a great night, I have to say. Let's just say it, okay? Russell Westbrook, he had a great night out there tonight when it comes down to, you know, facing the Houston Rockets. And on a side note, guys, there's been a lot of criticisms when it comes to, you know, Russell Westbrook. And, you know, rightfully so, when it comes to this season. This season as a Los Angeles Laker, he has not lived up to expectations to as being part of the Los Angeles Lakers. And rightfully so, he hasn't. But, you know, guys, when it comes to, you know, attacking his character, attacking his family, most importantly, I think that's a red line when it comes to those sort of criticisms. And I think I speak for all, you know, Laker fans and, you know, fans of Russell Westbrook and, you know, just people who are just fan of his game. You know, when it comes down to that, you don't go to that level when it comes to attacking someone's family, especially calling him, you know, Westbrook. And I don't know where that name came from. Obviously, I heard it from, you know, Skip Bayless from Undisputed. But, you know, obviously that was a trend and people started calling him that. And, you know, he's not a great shooter. But at the same time, you know, it's just, you don't do that to a certain player. Okay, you just respect the guy when it comes to, you know, his family and, you know, his outside of basketball activities. But obviously, when it comes to the game, sure. I mean, there's nothing wrong about criticizing a player's game. But when you go into that level of just criticizing his family and his name, it's just crosses the line, in my opinion, when it comes to that. And I think I speak for everyone when it comes to that sort of notion. So that's my side note, and I just want to put that out there because there's been a lot of talks as of late when it comes to Russell Westbrook and the drama and the harassments that he's been receiving when it comes to, fans that take it to a whole different level when it comes to, attacking Russell Westbrook, even though they're attacking him personally instead of attacking him when it comes to his game. And obviously, I usually, when I give my criticisms, it's about his games. But when it comes to his personal life, I never go through that certain line whatsoever. And I hope everyone follows that sort of notion when it comes to that. So, but other than that, I had to bring that up and, just show some respect for Russell Westbrook and his family. Don't go into that level when it comes to, harassments and, just being disrespectful to someone's family. So just want to put that out there. But, Russell Westbrook, he had a solid night. Let's put that out there. He had a pretty good night when it comes to averaging 30 points for the Los Angeles Lakers, leading tonight with 30 points. And, he turned over the ball once, so obviously he's controlling his turnovers. And I believe he went 7 of 8 or 7 of 9 from the field. So I have to say, he put up some pretty good numbers when it comes to, having a great performance against the Houston Rockets. So I just have to put that out there. So great job on his part for stepping up for the Lakers on that sort of end. But, the return of LeBron James after, resting due to having soreness in his knees after averaging over the weekend with 56 points out there when it comes to the Lakers. But, tonight he averaged a triple-double. But, guys, I have to say, even though he put up 23 points and I think 14 rebounds, and I believe he had 11 or 12 assists out there tonight, he still managed to not have a great night, to be honest. I mean, sure, he put up numbers, but his performance out there was pretty bad, I have to say. I mean, he, when it comes to, let's just say you've probably seen it in front of you when it comes to his stat line. But if you're listening to this, LeBron James, he's been trying so hard throughout this game tonight to shoot threes and trying to make them. And obviously, he gave us 1 of 9 from the three. I mean, there's a limit when it comes to, people wondering, stop shooting threes, Okay, if they're not going in, don't shoot threes. Make a field goal, make a mid-range shot. Stop shooting threes when they're not going in for you this time. So when it comes down to that, the only time he shot that three was in overtime and the Lakers were being demolished by the Houston Rockets when it comes to that particular shooting effort from LeBron. So, but, when your shots are not going in from the three, that's a sign that you should not make threes anymore in this particular game. It was just ridiculous to see LeBron James shooting threes like that and they're not going in. And there's a sign, do not stop shooting threes, make mid-range shots or go to the rim, make layups, do something like that. But for some reason, he just, decided to shoot more threes left and right and they were not going in. And, it was just bad, very bad. And I believe he had, I think he went 8. I might be mistaken. I think he went 8 of 23 from the field. So he had a bad night, even though he put up big numbers, triple doubles. But, he just, LeBron was just not himself out there. I honestly have to say it was a bad night for LeBron James, despite the fact that he gave us a triple double and gave us 23 points, 14 rebounds. And, it's just those numbers, those are impressive. But he still managed to turn over the ball a lot. So that also played a big role of him not playing very well out there. So other than that, LeBron, he tried. And I think he should have stopped when it comes to shooting threes. But, it's just my own personal opinion. And, LeBron just trying to find ways to win. But unfortunately, he did it in the wrong way. So, yeah, I just have to put that out there when it comes to LeBron James' performance. Other than that, let's talk about the rest of the Lakers. Austin Reeves, I have to say he had a really good night when it comes to, averaging 17 points out there tonight. And, as of late, he has been, playing very well when it comes to, being part of the starting lineup as of late, being inserted into the starting lineup as of late. So he has been putting up some big numbers, and he has been performing very well when it comes to defensively and on the offensive side. So we have to put some respect when it comes to Austin Reeves as of late when it comes to that sort of instance. So a great night for Austin Reeves when it comes to that sort of instance. And when it comes to the rest of the Lakers, you know, um, I have to say the bench, their efforts tonight. I have to say, no, I forgot to mention Malik Monk. Malik Monk, he had 20 points. He shot. He really tried to help the Lakers out in overtime, shooting threes, and they were just trying so hard to make some effort, but they failed, and it failed miserably. They got embarrassed. So when they went into overtime, they just allowed the Houston Rockets to just score on them right away. And I believe they had like 6 points in like 3 minutes into the game. And it was just like so disappointing to see that. I mean, they were just scoring, and the Lakers were just not capitalizing and not, scoring themselves. The only time they started scoring was like 1 minute left. And that was from LeBron making that first three out of the whole game. And then you have Malik Monk shooting that three. They were trying just to make some points out there, but unfortunately, it just wasn't the case, and the Lakers just decided to, you know, not capitalize on this win, and it was just very disappointing how things turned out. And when it comes to the bench, Carmelo Anthony had 13 points, and he had five personal fouls, so obviously he's been struggling when it comes to foul trouble. So, that kind of played a big role when it comes to the Lakers not also, winning tonight and making solid shots that could have potentially, I don't know, ended the game in the fourth quarter. But unfortunately, Carmelo Anthony missed an opportunity to, make a winnable shot, but unfortunately it just didn't capitalize. So obviously, there was a lot to blame when it comes to that sort of moment there. Certain decisions were made and certain mistakes were made that could have maybe ended the game in the fourth quarter with the Lakers win. But unfortunately, they couldn't capitalize, and they went into overtime and just got embarrassed in overtime. So when it comes down to that, there's just a lot to blame when it comes to that particular moment. And then, when it comes to DJ Augustine, I have to say this is one of the best performances for him as a Los Angeles Laker, playing against his former team in the Houston Rockets. I believe he put up 16 points and played for 21 minutes. And I was surprised that he did not play more minutes when it comes to how big of a performance he was putting up. 16 points, and I think he went 4 of 6 from the three. So his shooting efforts was a big factor when it came to the Lakers trying to come back, especially when it came to the third quarter. There was a lot of effort on DJ Augustine's part when it comes to scoring, and it was just sensational when it comes to him stepping up for the Lakers. But unfortunately, the Lakers couldn't capitalize, and it was just very sad how things turned out at the end when it comes down to the Lakers not beating one of the worst teams in the Western Conference and the NBA in the Houston Rockets. So once again, it is another disappointing loss to be added in the Lakers, disappointing season all around when it comes down to it. You could put it alongside the Pelicans' loss. You could put it next to the Clippers' loss. And, so far since the All-Star break, the Lakers are 1, and I believe, I can't really count like how many losses they have on their plate, but I know they won one win this after the All-Star break. So that's the sad part. I mean, there were some winnable matchups that the Lakers could have gotten, but unfortunately, they just couldn't capitalize on those particular wins. So it's just very sad to watch. I mean, honestly, very sad to watch to see this Lakers team what the way they are. And I just guarantee you, every single one of you, that things are going to change in the offseason big time. The coaching, the players being let go, Russell Westbrook potentially being traded in the offseason. And, the list goes on. I mean, there's going to be a lot of changes. And, I'm going to say this now. Frank Vogel has the reputation of being a defensive coach. Why wasn't there a lot of defense being played when the Lakers are not playing very well on offense? I mean, I just don't get it. I really don't get it. And, he's gone. I'm telling you, he's going to be gone in the offseason. And, just to save us the pain of just seeing the Lakers playing the way they are, and I believe they have like 17 games left remaining into the season. So, I don't know why they're not firing this guy right now. I mean, it's not looking good. You lost to the worst team in the Western Conference and in the NBA. I don't know. It's just so disappointing to see this Lakers team the way they are. And I don't know, guys. I just think that, the Lakers, their season is done. Their season is done. Even though they are within the play-in tournament, they're in the 9th seed. If somehow they decided to fall with more losses being added on, they could potentially get the 10th seed, which still plays, into the play-in tournament. But, I honestly won't be shocked. I won't be shocked if they end up being in the out of the play-in tournament and just, lose in the in this regular season with no playoff run, no play-in tournament, and just decide to, go into the offseason with the rebuilding right away. So it's just, that's my own personal opinion when it comes to that particular moment. And if that does happen, and I really believe that it's heading that way, unless something big happens. And we keep on saying that, but unfortunately, it's just, we just don't know. This team is so weirdly constructed when it comes to playing certain matchups that are obviously supposed to be winnable ones. But, it's just, honestly, guys, I'm just rambling. And I just want to end this video right now. So, I'm just so disappointed of this Lakers team. And I think I gave my gist of what I've witnessed in this embarrassing loss against the Houston Rockets tonight. So, guys, please comment down below, like, subscribe to the channel. Please give me your thoughts about this Lakers loss, this embarrassing loss against the Houston Rockets. What was the mistakes that were made that obviously was a turning point of this game? I really want to know your thoughts about it in the comment section down below. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. And please, guys, give me your thoughts in the comment section down below. I really do appreciate your comments. I honestly, every time you guys comment, I right away reply to them and, give you all my opinion as well when it comes to your thoughts. So it's, very fun to answer you guys' questions. Obviously, it gives me another perspective of other Laker fans and just people who are just watching the game of the way they watch it, and just me just answering them is just very fun, and I really enjoy them. So please comment down below, like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Go Lakers. Take it easy, guys. Stay safe out there, and hopefully maybe the Lakers will turn things around, but highly unlikely. So take it easy, guys. Stay safe out there.